We all come from different walks of life, and we face many challenges in life. Whatever you may be going through right now, or whatever you have gone through, I need you to know that you are not alone. I'm Mildred Towns. Let's be real about real life issues. Hello and welcome to Let's Be Real About It, where we are real about real life issues. I'm your host, Mildred Towns. This is a no holds barred zone. So some of the contents discussed tonight may be offensive to some, but that is not the intent of the show. I want to go ahead and introduce my special guest tonight. My special guest is Sabah, and I'm going to get him to say his complete name for us tonight.
I know my name is almost, you got to take a course to say my name.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah. My name is Sabah Dweh-Chenneh.
And on that note, I'm going to get you to go ahead and introduce yourself as well.
So, my name is Sabah Dweh-Chenneh. I am a Liberian from West Africa. Lived in America for close to 20 years now. I currently run several businesses in the Midwest, Kansas to be specific. And part of my former life, I was a clergy. I spent about 17 years as a clergy, but I've kind of moved on to becoming a businessman. But I still have a very strong emphasis in my business and in my continual passion for leadership. Which is exactly why I have my YouTube channel that really promotes self-actualization. Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about tonight 8 mindsets that will change your life, and you give great inspiration to people that will elevate them. You know that if we took, just say for these mindsets, if we took these mindsets, each one of these mindsets, and we applied it to our life, it will elevate us to the next level.
Indeed.
In our mindset, the
Mhm.
way we think. You know what I'm saying? So tell
Yeah.
us, what is a mindset? What is a mindset?
So a mindset, well, first of all, let's just go back to the fact that you said if you take a certain mindset, it can elevate your life. I want people to realize that the quality of a person is in their mind. Okay. The difference between a happy person and a sad person, the difference between a wealthy person and a poor person. Yeah, bank account matters and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, what makes those two people different from each other has to do with mindset. Now, what is a mindset? A mindset is the kind of mental commitment that a person makes based on the way they see the world or the way they approach the world. So let me give an example. You can have a scarcity mindset. That means that you see the world as a place where there are very limited opportunities. And as a result of seeing the world as a place where there is only limited opportunity, you approach life as someone who sees the world with only limited opportunities. And that can impact how you live. It can impact who you are. It can impact what you do. It can also impact what you have. And I can go even deeper on that and say that people who have a scarcity mentality, for example, it impacts what to do to the extent that these people, they will cut a line because they feel like, there's limited time and, there's limited space. Someone else wins and that person is mad because they don't feel like there's enough space for everybody to win. You know what I'm saying? So these things, your mentality impacts your mind on a real life level, and it ends up influencing the results that you get.
Yeah. So you said a person with a God, I can't even think.
Scarcity mentality. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Could it also be that those are the type people who not used to having anything, and
Very likely, uh, because sometimes, and they're not being, and their poverty, for example, in childhood, may have influence and shape the way they see life. And believe it or not, our childhood experience and big traumatic experience anytime in our life has a very formative impact on how the mentality you adopt, the perspective, the way you see the world. And so if you live in a place where as a child you guys were your parents were always complaining about how they would make the rent. They most of the times you never had light, electricity. There you had to go to school with torn clothes, and that kind of impacts the way you see the world. But there's a thing about the human brain where you are able over time to adapt, but some people are maladaptive. Some people do not adapt well. And the maladaptive people end up with a mindset that was negatively impacted by, that conditioning. Whereas the well adapted people are able to kind of make corrections along the way, and what have you. Yes, but yes, a short answer is that yes, not being when you're not used to having things in your life. That colors your perspective of the world such that you see life as more scarce.
So talk about your head has to come out of the situation that you're in order to go to the level that you're trying to go. And then after that, we're going to get into the 8 mindsets.
Sure. Now, your head has to come out first. When I shot the video, I did not remember who said it, but in hindsight, I do remember now that it was Bishop T.D. Jakes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was, oh man, this you probably talking about early 2000s, one of his sermons that I was listening to, and he said that. And it's so true that, you can, hard work will not change your condition if uh, between your ears is not changed. You can change one city to another, and you give yourself a couple of months, your conditions are gonna remain the same. I see a lot of people celebrate, oh, new month, right? Or new year. You can be in a new year, but if your mentality is still the same old mentality, your mentality will be that software that produces your outcome. Okay, so but true change starts from inside out. Okay, true change starts from inside out. And so in order for you to really bring transformation into your life, the first thing that needs to change is your mind. And I think Bishop Jakes just really captures that in such a beautiful analogy that when a child is birthed, that child does not come out with its legs, not with its stomach, not with its bottom, not with its hands. It has to come out with its head first.
Mm.
And I'm not a OBGY. I cannot fact check that kind of thing. But from what I've heard anecdotally, I think that's correct, right?
Yeah, because
And
they would call it a breech birth.
otherwise, right?
Hmm.
Exactly. So yeah, from what I've heard anecdotally, it is true. But the not only is the analogy beautiful, but the parallel is beautiful about life in general. You have to shift your mind, your mindset. You have to shift your outlook And I tell people in my video, you also have to put more in your head, more things, more skills, more knowledge that will help you master your current level and be able to burst to the next level. So right in between your ears here has got to upgrade for your situation to upgrade. It has got to elevate. You need a mental elevation for you to experience financial elevation. If you're always looking at life in a problem mindset, a lot of people, you talk to them, they look at everything that's wrong with the world, right? I've had friends who I talk to about the problems, and I bring in solutions to them. And every solution I bring, they have a million problems with that solution, right? You have a problem mindset, you will always be dominated and poor, right? But the moment you shift that mindset from a problem mindset to a solution mindset, your life is about to change. It's like a car gear.
Yes, and Esther said, if head doesn't come out first, there is a problem.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There is a problem if head doesn't come out first, and same thing with life transformation. If you try to walk the walk, but your mind is not changed, you will see yourself on a treadmill. Okay, you be like you're on a treadmill, you're on a hamster wheel, you are just doing so much, but every year you find yourself right in the same place, begging your cousin for money to be able to pay the rent, okay, or just having a miserable relationship, or just sick and tired, literally sick and tired. You see yourself in the same situation, no matter how much you've tried, because you are making the effort, but your mindset is still the same. But if you switch it all the way around and move the mindset, your body will follow easily.
And that's what Apostle Paul said, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So what he was saying is there's not going to be any transformation or moving forward if the mind does not change. Like you was talking about, if your mind is still in 2022 and we're in 2023, you bring in 2022 issues and problems into 2023 because there have not been any change in the mindset.
Yeah, your mind has to be transformed, because come to think about it, I can put it another way, right? And reason why Paul says that is because the only consciousness dwells in your mind, right? Your body is not conscious. Your nothing else on you is conscious. Awareness, emotion, decisions, attitude, mentality, all of those things dwell in the mind. And so that's what really needs to change. And you need to have your mind on the next level. And people who mind are on the next level, they may hang around the same friends, but they always act like they're going somewhere different. They always act like this is not for me. They come to work, they work on the floor, but they come to work dressed like the manager. They show up to work 10 minutes before, like they own the place. I talk to my staff about that ownership thing, and I'm like, run this place like you own it. It's so important, because when you start to think like that, and I tell people, and I say that in my video, when you start to think on the next, you see, and here's two things right here. And I talk about this in another video, the 3 levels in life, right? There is the struggling level, there is the surviving level, the struggling level, the thriving level, and the fulfillment level. There's a level on which you can barely make it. And then there's a level where you can comfortably make it and pay your bills and have a little extra, and then beyond that is where you have more disposable income, but you go beyond your goals. You can look at what kind of legacy do I want to leave, for example? What kind of impact do I want to make? Now, if you have your mind, if you are struggling, but your mind is on your struggle, you're going to stay in your struggle. It's always advisable that if you're on one level, you need to have your mind on the next level. You need to have your mind where you are going, not where you are, because your mind will drive you and pull you to where it is. If your mind is where you are, then you stay there. But if you are struggling and your mind is on that success level, it pulls you to that success place. If you are struggling and your mind is on that fulfillment level, it pulls you to success and then to fulfillment.
All right. Let's talk about, because you got 8 mindsets, and I hope we get to all of them. But let's start with the ownership mindset. That's the stop blaming other people.
Oh man, yeah. Ooh, that ownership mindset is it's a big one. I mean, all those mindsets are really critical mindsets, but the ownership mindset, one of the things I like about it is that you are in charge.
Mm-hmm.
Your number one business is your life. Okay, and you need to act like you own that life.
I like
and,
that.
And you need to act like you call the shots. The buck stops with you. What your mama did when you were 7 years old, what your daddy did not do when you were 12 years old, don't matter no more. It's not your daddy's life. It's not your mommy's life. It is your life. You need to be asking the question to yourself right now about, what do I do to get this my life right? And for everyone may have messed up one way or another, but what do I do now to make it right? Whether it is your health, whether it's your money, whether it is your profession, whether it's your happiness, your relationship, you need to ask yourself, this is my business. And all of these things, positive outcome in each of these areas is my profit. Positive outcome in each of these areas is your profit. So my question is, how can I run my life in such a way that I have great health, that I have a happy relationship, that I have enough money and much more to share? How can I run my life in such a way that I can make an impact in community? You need to ask yourself that question, and you need to pour yourself into it like you are balancing the books, and that you are making a shrewd investment. Because your life, your time, when you wake up in the morning, life deposits time in your hands. Life deposits breath in your hands, in your nostrils, right? Those are the things that you have to deposit, to work, to invest in your day, in your week, in your month, in your life, to be able to produce those positive results. How you work them is up to your business skill, up to your life skill. You own this thing. Run it like you are the CEO, and take those decisions, effort decisions, seriously, in terms of how will it impact your bottom line, your happiness, your bank account, so on and so forth.
And I like that, taking control, you being in control of your life, and not blaming other people. I have been there. I have done that until I came to the conclusion, you know, um, it wasn't that person. It wasn't my ex-husband. The reason why I started back to eating and gained weight. And I was like, if I hadn't gone through this, that, and the other, but no, I had to come to the realization, no,
Yeah.
it wasn't his. He had nothing to do with me going back, picking up food and stuff. He had nothing to do with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was my mindset,
Mhm.
and thinking, okay, this is how I overcome this.
Mhm.
I'll just put it in my mouth and overcome it. But that was my thinking and my mindset, and blaming him for it. Then I
Yeah.
had to come to the conclusion, I can't blame him for what I do, what I did. That's not his fault. That's my fault. And I had to take ownership
Yeah.
of
And
my
and blaming him is just a waste of time.
Mhm.
It's passing the buck on to someone while time is just expending, and you don't have time. Time is precious, right? But the moment you take control of that thing and you know that this is my doing, even my wife and I, we say that all the time. We're committed to each other's happiness, but we tell each other all the time that your happiness is your responsibility. I'm committed to do what I can, but at the end of the day, it's still your responsibility. And
Yes.
it's a choice.
Yeah, and you said that right. It's a choice. Esther said, I love this. His word paint a clear and helpful picture.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, it does. And let's go on to the next one. Sufficiency, mindset, or mentality. It's enough in the world for everyone to have. I'm I I'm not enough. That ain't right, is it?
Well,
I'm not
no, no.
liking.
So in the video, I did say I am enough.
Okay, okay.
Yes,
And I'm not
because
liking nothing, you
mm,
know,
mm,
because so
mm,
many people get caught up in that, as though I'm not going to get my share.
mm.
I'm not going to get my part.
Yeah,
But as you say, it's enough in the world for everyone to have. So you don't have to be like those crabs in the barrel.
yeah, yeah. There is enough in the world for everyone to get. And the moment I'm not a preacher anymore, but I like that saying where Jesus say, and he who has not, whatever he has will be taken away from him. And
Mm-hmm.
when I heard that, I was like, man, poverty is a curse.
Mm-hmm.
Developing the sufficiency mindset is so important, because if your mindset is that you're poor, if your mindset is you have not, you will never have, because you attract what you are.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not saying it's going to magically appear. You have to go out there, strategize, and work for it. But your mindset, the way you go get it, the way you go get your bread, like that the kids say on the street, the way you go get your bread, your mindset is impacted by whether you feel you already have it, whether you feel you have enough. And here's the thing about it, and I like the analogy of the seed. I use this a lot in a lot of my videos, that just like the seed, you see that tree bearing all of that fruit. Everything that it takes to become a big, flourishing, fruitful tree is already packed into that one seed. All that seed needs to be is to just be placed in the right place. Everything you ever needed to be all that you ever wanted to, you ever need to be, and to have anything you ever needed is already inside of you. It's already inside of you. All you need to do is to look for ways to unfold all that you already are, right? And so you need to ask yourself, how do I unfold that? There is nothing missing in you. Life has endowed you with what you need to survive financially. Life has endowed you with what you need to succeed relationship wise. Life has endowed you with what you need in every area of your life. But you need to dig down and find it and refine it. There is nothing missing in you, and there is nothing lost. You have it in you. And so you need to come with that sense of, I am enough. When that sense of I am enough becomes a conclusion, then you no longer come from a place of low self-esteem, right? And because of low self-esteem, you would do things in certain ways that would not lead to happiness, right? But if you come from a place of I am enough, you will take bold moves. You will fail forward. Huh? But people who come from a place of scarcity and I am not enough, they're scared to fail. And let me tell you one thing. If you're scared to fail, you will never win. Those who are not afraid to fail are the ones who will always win and they will win fast. But you have to know that you are enough, that you are not defined by your conditions. You are not defined by, your results. That irrespective of your results, irrespective of your condition, you are enough. You
And
should.
Mary said, good point to something that you had said, good point to what you had said. So let's go to possibility mindset. My dreams are possible.
Whew. Oh man, I like it when you say that.
My dreams are possible.
I like
Yeah,
it that it's not only a mentality. I like for people to always say it out. If you got your dream on a board, on a what do you call that, vision
vision
board,
board.
if wherever you write your dreams, look at it every morning and say, my dreams are possible. There's something about. So first of all, let me start with possibility, right? Possibility or impossibility is an opinion. It's not a fact. Because what some people call impossible is a possibility for other people.
Mhm.
So it's an opinion, and Muhammad Ali used to say that impossible is just an opinion, and so you can decide to conclude that the opinion of impossibility is true for your dreams, or you can also have the power to decide to conclude that the opinion of possibility is true. It's your choice every day, all day. It's an opinion. And so I tell people you need to do all you can to build the case for the possibility of your dream. Instead of spend time looking for reason why it wouldn't work, look for reason why it would work. And this is one of the ways you get the possibility mentality. Write your dreams down now. And then every day for the next 10 days, write 10 reasons, new reasons every day why it is possible. You know what you're doing there? You're building a case for the possibility of your dream. After that 10 days, you will sit there and say with true confidence that it is possible. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Say what you're supposed to say.
Here is why that is important. What we know is impossible dissembles the body, degenerates our body. It breaks it slows us down. You ever go approach something that you don't feel you are able to do?
Mhm.
You drag to do it. You ever go to do something that you know you are competent in? Everyone is struggling on a phone call in a call center, and they call you, and these are the particular kind of customers that you expert in dealing. You walk up to that thing with swagger, right? Because you can do it, right? The mentality of possibility impacts how you approach your problem and how you navigate it. It gives you a certain confidence. I remember my wife and I, the first business we ever bought, we all our businesses we started ourselves, but one after our third business, we see that business struggling right there. We've just turned our other business around. Let's go and see if we can buy that business, right? I mean, we were nervous the night before, right? I mean, this is new territory to us and all of that kind of stuff. But with next morning, we psych ourselves up. We say, hey, we've done this thing before. We can do it. Let's go up in there. We walk into that place with our chest held high as though we've done it a million times. It impacts your attitude. And like that, like someone else said, your attitude impacts your altitude.
Yeah.
How you think affects how high you go.
So give an example of just in case somebody listening and maybe they're not for sure what may possibly be my dream. Can you give an example of a dream? So that they'll know it's not something that you dream at night when you're sleeping. It's different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Okay. So thank you for that question. Your dream is your preferred outcome. Mhm. Your dream is your preferred outcome, and because we say dream, I would like to say your preferred outcome in life. And this is how I tell people to write your dreams. Write it big. Dreams are free. Okay, write it big. They're not expensive to write them down. Okay, but also if you answer this one question, you have a dream. Mhm. If you answer the question, if I had no limitations, if money was not an issue, if I had no weakness, if I had no shortcomings, if I had no hindrances, what kind of life would I live? What will my health look like? What will my relationship look like? What will my finances look like? What kind of impact would I make in society? If you answer that question without holding back, you let your imagination run wild. Let it come not from your head. Your head argue, it wants to be logical, it wants to be realistic, not with your head, with your heart. Come from desire. And I'll go back to the Bible again. The Bible, Jesus said, whatsoever thing you desire. Dream starts with desire. Beautiful life do not start in reality. Beautiful life starts in desire. You need to write your desires down, irrespective of your current condition. And as though there was no hindrance, there was no limitations. Just write down what your heart desire in terms of your relationship, your finances, your health, your impact, profession, and what have you. Write those things down, you have a dream. And even when Dr. King taught about it, his dream, if you listen to his dream, it is articulated of a world in which all of the current hindrance of 1957 were no longer existing. You remember you remember that? He painted a world where your current negativity was all vanished. And so that's another way to simply draw a dream. If you write all your problems down right now, then you write all of the big opposite to your problems. That's your dream. So I've given you 3 ways to write a dream.
Because the Bible also says too, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. I tell you, from the beginning of this interview, what's between your head is what distinguishes, the have from the have not, the happy from the sad, the sick from the well. I used to work at Time Warner Center in New York City, and I'm walking in the lobby, and I see people. Now, this was the first time it hit me. I see people who walk into that building who make $15 an hour, but I also see people who walk in that building and make $15 million a year. And the first question that came to my mind is, what's the difference between those two people?
Mm-hmm.
They all got 2 hands. All got 2, feet. What's the difference? It's between, and I learned over the years, it's between your ears.
The mindset.
Yeah.
Wow. So let's go to the growth mindset.
Oh, I was hoping you said that.
Lasting sustainable success.
Yes. Growth mindset, man, my favorite of all of them. I mean, you can throw everything else away if you only walk away with a growth mindset, you're set. You're set. Because here is why the growth mindset is so important. The growth mindset it's so important because it is, again, change from the inside out. It is about building your capacity to be more in order to do more and have more. Some people want to do more and have more, but they have not focused on their capacity for that. You want the money, you want the cars, but have you built your capacity to get the kind of money and the cars? Now, you can skip the growth process. You can skip the capacity building process and get the money fast. But as fast as you get it, as fast as it will go. You can skip the whole process, see someone's husband who they've spent years working together and building their relationship, and that person has grown because of that working together. And you see that seemingly perfect looking guy, take him away from that particular person. But because you haven't done the work to build your capacity for the kind of relationship it requires, you are going to have a problem. And I remember my wife and I, when we got together, we've always had a great vision of a relationship, what a relationship should be, what a loving relationship should be, a fulfilling relationship. We wrote those things down, right? And every week we will meet and talk about it and what have you. Every month we will ask, how did we do? What do we need to improve? Oh my God, 6 months in, I was like, this thing is tiring. This is a lot, and so because I realized that I wanted so much, truly desire so much, but I also realized that I had not built that stamina for that, right? So what the growth mindset says is that you believe that big outcomes start from small beginnings. And over time, through hard work and the right strategy, becomes big outcomes. You understand what I'm saying? And so that's the growth mindset. It is the seed into the ground. And with time and tending and fertilization and watering, over years and years, it becomes something. So it is the opposite of overnight success. It is the opposite of just wanting to just arrive tomorrow. It is people who take their time to to do the inner work, to work on themselves, to get the right attitude, to get the requisite knowledge, to develop the proper skill set and the fortitude to be able to handle more. And like Jesus said again, to he who has, more will be given to him.
More will be given.
That's the growth mindset. I love the growth mindset. And, I think, like I said, if people walk away with anything at all, that one thing is, am I ready to start small and be patient with myself and be consistent and put in the work and find the knowledge it requires and build the skill it takes to one day be big.
Esther said she's sitting on the edge of her seat, and Rhonda said, "Great." What was that? Rhonda said, "Great." Rhonda said, "Great." Esther said, "I'm sitting on the edge of my seat," and Rhonda said, "Great point."
Amen. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Esther and Rhonda and Mary as well.
So we're gonna go to the contribution mindset.
Ooh, yeah.
All about giving more than receiving.
All about it. Yeah. And I want to combine that with the excellence mindset, right? Really quickly. Contribution mindset is the mindset that realizes that the world is a give and take place. The universe, their movement, there are certain elements and phenomena of the universe. And one of the phenomena of the universe is the pulsation, the expanding and contraction, giving and receiving. You know what I'm saying? And it is that kind of thing that comprise what the universe is. And if we understand it, it changes your life. You have to realize that each of us showed up here with something in us. Our time, our life, but also our talents, right? Those things, the universe wants it. The world needs it. And the people who will show up and give one or two will get something from life. But the people who will show up and give all three and give it to the very best of their ability will get pressed down and running over. Hmm? And so there are people in life who only want to receive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you only want to receive, your life will start to shrink, because like the Dead Sea analogy, right? You're not flowing out. You're only receiving. And when you're only receiving, you become stagnant. And when you become stagnant, you become a cesspool for a whole lot of different pests to germinate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want that to be the description of your life? Or do you want your life to be a vibrant flow of exchange between you and the world, right? And so in order for you to be able to have a rich and full and happy life, you have to ask yourself everywhere and anytime, why did I show up here? What do I have to bring to this situation? What can I give? What difference can I make in this situation? And go there and do your very best with why you show up for. I tell my workers all the time, my staff, I tell them that there are people who just show up to cover a shift and get paid. And
Mm-hmm.
they're bare, they do the bare minimum. Okay. And there are people who come in and do above and beyond, right? And your contribution is you telling yourself that I'm a part of a team, and let me play my part well. Hmm? Play your part well. But then when you've done what you show up for, then you're making your contribution. But then there are people who don't only do what they show up for. They do what they show up for and then some, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the people who have the excellence mentality, right? Because like that word say excel, excellence. So these people go above and beyond. They give you what's required and they go beyond. The person with a contribution mentality give what's required, what life requires of me, what my job requires of me. I come, I show up, I deliver, right? But the person with an excellence mentality go a little bit above. And the mentality that you adopt is the level you will remain on life. Contribution mentality is a great mentality. It takes you in a good place in life. Like I told you about those three stages in life, it would take you from survival to success. When business owners and companies are looking for people to promote, they're looking for people who are making contribution to their team. But when it comes to critical positions, to promote into critical conditions, you do not only look for people who deliver what's required, the contribution people. You look for people who go above and beyond. Those with the excellence mindset, who wants to leave their name on a task and a signature on their task, because they know the delivery so well that they want their name to be associated with it.
Yes, yes. See, this is real good. This is real good to know the difference between the contribution mindset is that, okay, I'm going to succeed. I'm doing enough to succeed. But if I want to go to the next level on my job and I want that elevation, I want to go from being a manager on the job to an executive manager, whichever. Even if I don't have the qualification or the degrees, but the excellent mentality can put me in that position because I'm willing to go above and beyond. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to do more than just the average person that sets on the contribution mindset. If I'm understanding that correctly.
That is correct. Contribution, do what's required. Excellence, mentality goes beyond what's required and deliver above and beyond. And let me tell you one thing. As a business owner, I talk to business owners all the time. And when business owners are looking for people, sometimes degree matters. But on the other hand, delivery is so much more important. Can we rely on this person? Can we business people, especially people who are expanding their business, right? They want to be able to go and expand the business and know that I left that person there. That person will do what's required, and I will come back, and there will even be much more. You go back to that parable in the Bible where the guy was given a certain amount, and when the master came back, he didn't want to provide that amount, but he provided much more. That's that excellence mentality. You excel. You go beyond what's required. You always want to ask yourself, I'm done, but what extra can I do? What extra can I do to just add a cherry on top? You try this in your workout, your body will change this year. If you're always 5 push-up person, do an extra push-up every day. If you only run a mile, run a quarter mile more, a quarter of a mile addition every other day, just a little bit more. There's a power in little increment. And if you always, you know that thing about tip, and someone does a service for you, you pay them for the service and you tip them. In Africa, where I come from, we call it a dash, right? And you dash other people when they do something for you. Why don't you dash yourself? Why don't you go above and beyond? Tell yourself, be that generous to yourself and dash yourself and see how it changes your life. Just a little more.
Yes. And in the time that we have left, I do want you to talk about the legacy mentality, and it is done mindset.
Oh man,
Because we ain't got
yes.
that much longer left, but
I
I do want you
I
to hit on those.
I see. So let me see if I can wrap those two up in 5 minutes. Uh, Here's the beauty of the legacy mindset, right? The legacy mindset is, how do I want to be remembered? I tell people, do this. Take a pen and a paper and write your own eulogy. The way you will want. I didn't say the way people will talk about you when you die. Nah, but I said the way you will want people to talk about you when you die. Write that down. Will you want to be remembered as the person who fed people all around the world? Will you want to be known as the richest person in the world? Whatever, write it down. Whatever your legacy is, and that is your legacy, the way you want to be remembered. And if anybody can write that down and read that once a week, you legacy, that statement has such powerful gravitational pull that it will pull you forward to do more, to be more, and to have more. Because now you are thinking big, you are thinking big vision, you're thinking about life. You're not just thinking about making it this month. Would I make it to pay my rent this month? No, you're not just thinking about how do I buy the next house. No, you are thinking about what impact, what legacy do I leave behind? And that's a powerful force right there. And I think everybody should write down a legacy statement like that. And I think it is going to really, really draw them. And the reason why legacy is so important is because it takes you out of survival mode. You're not. So but people who are in survival mode are thinking about themselves and how they will make it. People who are in legacy mentality are thinking about others and how can they serve others and make a difference in other people's life. There's no greater life than that kind of life. Like I think it's Picasso who say, your purpose in life is to find your gift. And what do you say? Your purpose in life is to find your gift, and your mission in life is to give it away. Okay, when you serve other people, you leave a legacy, and you change life, and life has great meaning when you do that. And when it is done, mindset is one of my most metaphysical mental conclusion. It is done. It is finished. This is it's almost like the legacy mindset, Sister Mildred. So it's a good thing you put them both together. They're similar, but they're different. The reason why they're similar, they're all about looking at the end from the beginning, right? Legacy mindset is like, how do I want to be remembered when I die? But it is done mentality is the thing that I desire, I already have it. You speak about it as though it's yours. It's a place of faith. It's a place of commitment. It's a place of certainty, right? And that kind of certainty, like again, like I told you before, cause you to move differently, cause you to have different conversation, cause you to you see, people who do not believe are very timid. And so the question is supposed to ask to a potential investor or potential, a boss. I'm supposed to go and ask, so can you raise my pay can you pay me an extra $40,000? You wouldn't do it if you don't have that confidence. Mm-hmm. But if you adopt that it is done mentality, as far as you know, it's already done, it's there for you. You just need to walk in it. And you'll walk with confidence when you know that it is done.
So how hard is it to adapt? Which I know there's a positive mindset, positive thinking, because I know one of the things you said write it on a piece of paper and living as though that is already done. How do you adapt that mindset of it's done already, and I mean just living that mindset? I'm gonna go in this office and I'm gonna ask my boss for this $40,000. I know I don't come through contribution mindset. I've been walking in the excellent mind mentality, and now I know that it's done. My boss done seen how I'm working, all this that I've been doing. So I'm gonna go in this office and I'm gonna say, okay, I need an increase in my pay. How do you get to that mindset and hold on to that mindset?
I love the question. First of all, let me tell you that focus more on results and not method. Okay, so and my results here will be a 40,000 raise for 2023. Right. Mm-hmm. Now, whether I get it with this company or another company, it doesn't matter. But it is done. I already got that raise, right? I already got that raise. So whether it is this company or next company, but I will go for it and I will ask for it because I know I'm delivering. I have the excellent mindset. My work is excellent, just like you said, and I will go and ask for it. And if this company don't have me, another company will that. So focus first of all. You will be discouraged if you focus on how it will happen. You need to focus more on that is already done. Okay, the result, right? Now, here are two things that I feel like everyone should do all the time. Well, three things. One is write it down. Be very clear about what you want. Two, you should repeatedly say, it is possible. Write it, whether you write it on your mirror or your wall, stand up and look at it, say it is possible until you can believe it. You want to say it 7 times a day, 7 days a week, until you can really say it with vigor, say it with all your might. Here's a third thing that you really should do. At least 3 to 4 times a week, sit down and see yourself there. Visualize yourself. Your boss shaking your hands and saying congratulations, you have a 40,000 raise. Visualize yourself with what will you do if you had that 40,000. See yourself doing that kitchen expansion that you've been putting off for so long. See yourself doing that kitchen expansion, that trip you've been wanting to do to go to Bali. See yourself on that flight, go into that place because you now have. See yourself having it, experiencing it, doing the things that you would do when it finally show up. When you see yourself doing that, engender the emotions you will feel when you're doing those things that you will do when that money shows up in your life. That joy that you will feel, begin to feel it now. Then begin to just let that happiness and that glee just flow through your body. And as it does, continue to see yourself living the life of that extra 40,000.
Amen. Elsa said, I've been contemplating asking for a performance bonus. Now I'm saying it is done. Amen. Girl, you better claim it. You better
Yes, ma'am.
claim it. One
And
thing that
and
the
and and,
Bible
and, and
says,
before you end there, and once you've done all of that visualization, contemplation, write down a strategy. Right? It is done. You have to just go and unfold it. And since I'm talking to a predominantly Christian crowd, the promised land was given, but yet they had to walk into it. They had to go and take it. Right? You see it, you believe it, you know it, it is done, but yet and still, after you've done all of that, you sit down and you strategize, you talk about it, you network about it, and you problem solve with friends about it until you can have a clear way to go ahead and get it. And hey, if you go the first time it don't work, if you try another way, because you know it is done.
yes, yes. And Elsa said, I'm going to request it for the department.
Just
Yes.
see yourself in that apartment, Esther. See yourself in that apartment. See yourself getting that handshake, and just believe it. Just feel that joy. Feel that joy. Feel it.
Yes, yes. I am so excited. So, how would you sum up everything? How would you sum up the 8 mindsets? And what would you say to the people in the little bit of time we got left?
Well, I would say, to just put it mild, briefly, you need to be very clear about the kind of life you want to have, not the kind of life you need to have, the kind of life you want to have. Hmm? And begin to develop a mindset that leads. Do the research, listen to my video, do the research, but begin to develop a mental attitude and a mental commitment to that lifestyle, to that life dream that you want. And as you begin to do the research, knowledge is power. And the more you know, the more it points you into the direction of developing. And when you get knowledge, you get the habit. And get the habit, you get the identity. Okay? And it develops you into that kind of person who has that mindset. So let your mind start with your dream and say, what kind of mindset do I need to get that dream? Because if you work on your mindset first, your attitude, your perspective, you work on that first, it will begin to change everything else you work on. And everything else you work on will impact the results you have.
So, Orlando Pay said, Amen, great info. Yeah. So how can people contact you? And let me ask you this too. If somebody needed you to coach them in a certain mindset, or somebody needed you to talk to them about how to get to the next place, are you available for that? Or, I know you're going to be going for life coaching, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
you can coach people into the next place.
Yeah.
So, are you available for that? Or
I definitely am, Sister Mildred. So my email is on the screen. My number is also 917-773-5703. Contact me, whether you want a one session or you want ongoing session. I have limited space. I have a few people that I'm already working with, but I'll be happy to take at least 2 more persons on, within the next now for the next 3 months or so. In 3 months, I could clear up for more people. But yeah, contact me. I'm open to that. I'm open to even talks, by video or in person, and those type of things.
I have really enjoyed this tonight. Thank you so, so, so much for coming on the show. As he said, his email address is up there, and he has already given out his telephone number. So thank you, all of y'all who participated, to Esther and Mary and Ron and the other ones that participated tonight. Thank you so much for participating. You know, it's your participation that increased the show. It makes it even that much better, you know, when people participate. So I just want to thank y'all tonight. Please
Sister
subscribe.
Mildred, Sister
Yes.
Mildred,
Mhm.
please let me just put this in. My YouTube channel is also there.
Yes.
You know, please, I will kind of share. I have Sister Mildred share that. Subscribe to the channel. I have a lot of videos on there about just encouragement and empowerment to just take your life to the next level.
So what, you want to give out your YouTube?
Yes, it's at Life to Max 2 at Yahoo. No, it's at Life to Max 2 without the. So it's my email address without the at Yahoo.
Okay.
Yes. So at Life to Max 2 is what it is.
Okay. Okay. Because I always just, you know, see you because I'm on your YouTube. I'm your friend on your YouTube. I subscribe to your YouTube channel. So that's why I know when you're doing something. So I like to sit there and listen. I'm like, God, there's a lot of wisdom right here. I was like, got to get him to come on the show. So I have really enjoyed y'all. Y'all listen, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's Be Real with Mildred Town. So you would know when I'm on, when my guests come on. I always put out flyers so that you would know. And also order my book, Truth. My Closet Secrets Revealed. You can contact me at iHeartMinistries@gmail.com. Give me a call at 757-776-2987. It talks about my life story. And also, if the show been a blessing to you, please consider giving a love offering to my Cash App. It's $ Mildred Towns. I would highly appreciate it. And I would love to hear from you again. Give me a call at 757-776-2987. Or you can email me at iHeartMinistries@gmail.com. I want to thank everybody who watched the show nationally and internationally. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Pastor Sabah, is there anything that you want to say before we go off the air?
Oh, well, I just want to say a big thank you to you, Sister Mildred. You know, we've encouraged each other for a long, long time. And, you know, I'm so glad with how you are touching other people's life through this ministry. You know, and let's continue to lift other people up.
Yes, yes. So, guys, until next week, let the peace of God reign and rule and abide in your hearts. I'm Mildred Towns. Thank you for watching.
What up, y'all? It's your boy back on stage. We here at J&K Style and Grill with my main man.
J&K Style Grill, home of the original waffle burger, stuffed wings, and Philly steak egg roll.
The food was amazing, man. I'm talking about collard green stuffed chicken, mac and cheese stuffed chicken, waffle burger with the special sauce.
With the special sauce.
Come on, man. What are you doing if you ain't eating here? You're wasting your life.
Pull up.
J&K Style Grill, you can copy the style.
But never the best.
We got it.
We got
Hey.
it.